Hey, what's up? It's Devin Coates. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today, I'm actually gonna do a bit of a book review, just an introduction to a book. This is actually probably my favorite book. I wasn't gonna do a video on this until like I kind of worked out the kinks and I got better at doing this YouTube shit. I mean, this is like my third or fourth week doing it, so I still kind of suck. Not really editing them well, but fuck the preface. This book, Mastery by Robert Greene, kind of changed my life. I read it 2 times full through, and this is probably the ultimate Quake book that I've ever read. It's not the first book I read by him, but it was the first one that really just fixed my mindset. And I have a video, Life is an Experiment, and this is actually where I kind of got the master, like you're looking at your life as your ultimate masterpiece. And this was the book that really kind of introduced that to me. Um, I'll just kind of go through the story about it. I'll be a little open about my past. So the first time I read this was probably like, I would say 3 years ago ish. So I was about 20. I was doing this internship. I was actually 21, so maybe it was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. But I was doing an internship, College Works. It was like my second business that I like did. It was kind of under them, so they did take out a lot of like the bullshit of like starting the business, which I've done, but later. But basically, I was doing that book. I mean, I was doing that internship, and it really wasn't working out. It wasn't what they sold me, and I was going through really hardships. I didn't have like a real place to stay, and I was working as a host at like the Rainforest Cafe, not making that much money, doing that 20 hours a week, then work for them another 20 hours a week, and then going to school. Then the semester ended. I took all the money I saved up, paid $500 for just a fucking room with some dudes I never fucking met, and I was just kind of subletting that for the summer because it was a summer painting internship. I sold about like 40 grand of stuff, so theoretically I was supposed to make thousands, a few $1,000s. I was on projection to make at least 10 to 20 grand in the summer. So like that's what I'm thinking is promised, not promised, but I'm putting in the work, so I'm thinking it's gonna happen. And long story short, a month goes through. I paid for June up front. June all goes down, and I produced, which means I painted actually 13 grand of the work, and it's just not living up to what they said. There's all these excuses that for this reason I can't get paid yet, and they're saying that I hired all these painters to help me out because I was like the manager, and I'm telling them they're gonna get like $10, $15 an hour. They're turning out to get minimum wage because of the way they set everything up, and you're not finishing fast enough, and it was just like a fucking mess. It wasn't what I basically got duped into kind of like a get rich quick scheme a little bit, and basically it just really wasn't turning out well. I get to almost July and I don't make any money, so I don't have any money for rent. I'm literally living off fast food. My car's falling apart. I actually ended up getting into an accident too. It wasn't my fault, so I actually kind of got lucky because basically they've pulled out in front of me. I got a little bit of money, helped me coast, but basically I'm just depressed as shit. I'll be honest. I was smoking weed all the time, just depressed as shit. Like I was just eating fast food. That's it. Smoking weed. Hated where I was working. I didn't know what to do, so I started reading this book, and basically, it kind of let me know that uh, one, there's times when you gotta quit and you gotta follow your heart. It's like, yeah, I don't like to quit shit, and I chose it. I wanted to stick out the summer, but it wasn't turning out to be what it. So this book kind of just told me that, but also that your 20s and your early life, you really don't know shit. So pretty much, you're just gonna get basically you're going to learn the lesson the hard way a bunch of times, and that's really what it's about. Like your 20s is all about gaining skills. Try as many fucking things, put yourself out there in as many different ways, and gain all this knowledge so that when you're in your 30s or reaching your late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, that you will have gained some skills and developed yourself as a person, that you can combine all this shit to um, do whatever you want to do. And it's like kind of like it's like The Secret meets real life, because it's not all that foo shit that like The Secret, oh, just believe, just believe. It's like if you practice something, for me, entrepreneurship is something that I practice a lot. It's like if you spend 10,000 hours of intense practice on it, you keep putting yourself out there in that way, eventually you will have gained so much knowledge and tools that you will be leaps and bounds above other people. And he kind of says that in every aspect of your life. He also includes many different aspects, like gaining a mentor and how that can help and cut the learning curve. Being able to be socially intelligent, and how relationships often affect your ability to be a master, because you can't be a master by yourself. You have to interact with other people, and also to another level, like you get a family, you get friends, and different like more intimate partners. It's like you have to be able to manage all that to become a master. You're a human, so you have to master the human experience, and just looking at your life as a masterpiece. That was the first time I read the book, and it got me through college work. So basically what I did was I quit, took all the fucking equipment, me and my buddy, my boy Alex, we fucking basically just started our own paint company. He had done the work before, so we just started painting houses. We're making money, and we're doing things, and me and him actually have very different business philosophies. And basically I couldn't rock with the way he wanted to do things. I was looking at scaling it, he was looking at working working it like ourselves, and it just wasn't moving in the way I wanted to. And for a long time I was blaming I was blaming the situation. Like before I was blaming College Works, and then it was like I was blaming him, and then I was blaming where I was living, I was blaming going to school. And then I kind of read this book again to kind of like, I was like, I need to fucking stop this story. And also, uh, at that point, pretty much like fucked it up. Like I had, I basically I had like two girls that I was kind of like seeing for like the last couple years. It was on and off, but like I basically was so out of touch with the fuck way I wanted to go, and like that basically I just fucked those relationships up. Not in the sense that I should have kind of kept them in terms of the way they were. It was like they were over, and then I just let them end kind of poorly, and it just wasn't good. And basically, on my 22nd birthday, something happened where it was just like, yo, fuck this. You got to stop making excuses. You need to figure out a way to um, basically change this shit and take control. That's why I read this again, and the biggest part was just taking ownership of your life, and your life being your masterpiece. So I started working out, and that's where like, so it's like literally, I think it was January like 16th or something. From then on, I was just working out pretty consistently. I stopped making excuses with the business, figured out my own exit plan to get out the business, made enough money to get my own apartment where I'm living now, get through this year. But it really just stuck with me in the sense of I started reading. I've read, well, consumed, because I also listen, but I've consumed over like, has to be over 30 something books this year. And I'm just like on a tear. I'm exponentially growing compared to the way I was years prior, because now it's like I'm taking it as complete responsibility for myself, that I have to be the one to create this masterpiece of a life. If I want a good life, it's up to me, and that's it. I need to put in my hours. I need to put in my hours entrepreneur wise, but I also have to put in my hours just life wise, and general. I want to be a master of my own life. When you read stories of like Michael Faraday, Leonardo da Vinci, Ben Franklin, Charles Darwin, Temple Grandin, Yoki Matsuoka, and it's like you see how they can, some of them only succeeded career wise, but like the Da Vinci's of the world, the Ben Franklins of the world, um, they excelled at many different areas, and like Darwin and Ben Franklin, for example, had terrible social skills, but then how they used their mind to build, to learn, and put the hours in to learn those avenues as well. Michael Faraday, coming from uh, basically poverty, well, not necessarily poverty, but from a social class that being a scientist in that time was like unheard of. Yoki Matsuoka combining all these different robotics and anatomy and sports and tying that all together to in neurology, tying it all together to make her breakthroughs, or Temple Grandin having severe autism and then being able to be a public speaker and also to run her own business and make breakthroughs in the way that cattle and horses are. I mean, I guess from what I remember, it was like more slaughter, but like basically just making everything more humane. And when you just read all these stories of all these people, it's like you're kind of grateful for your failures. You're like grateful for the shit that messes you up, because that's really where you learn. And it's really putting yourself out there to fuck up and to learn over and over and over. And if you've done that enough in a specific field and then to life in general, as you get older, you'll have the ability to create a life of intent, of design, and be able to use all the things you've learned, use your story to learn and to create the masterpiece of your own life, but then also to be a master of your own field. And it really like helped me and just showed that, you know, maybe it's not all making sense right now, but if you keep following like your gut, your natural inclinations, and just really learn to study them intensely and put your all into it, at the end of the day, you're going to take all those skills and combine them together somehow. And even at this point, I can see myself already doing it with certain things, especially with wrestling, because that was like the one thing that I feel like I had gained a certain level of skill in. It's like I use that mindset to accomplish literally like most things. That's like my first go-to metaphor or mindset. It's like, how did I do it in wrestling? Oh, I just practiced all the time. That's how I got better. Oh, I just said that I have to win. I have to get the takedown. Or I like had to use mental fortitude to stay strong in the third period. Or I didn't use mental fortitude and that's why I lost a district final match. Like, or I let distraction come in. That's why I took that shot and got put on my back. I didn't let that happen when I was sick, and that's how I like had the best tournament of my fucking probably my whole high school career, because I was in that level of focus. But I mean, that's pretty much all. This is probably my favorite book ever. I'll probably do another one, um, another book review on it when I kind of get better at this whole thing and understand how to edit, thumbnail, do all that fun shit. But for anybody watching, don't really got any views now, but uh, if you like the content, click the subscribe button. And until next time, peace out.